Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Conversations with Rajesh Talwar. And we have author Rajesh with us today. And we're going to talk about another book of his, which is, I think, a pretty interesting book, which you can deduce by just the name How to Kill a Billionaire. So, Rajesh, could you just tell us a bit about your book and how is it that your book is different and unique than the other books that you have written?
Thanks, Ananya. I think this is the book. It has a nice cover. Uh, and you're right, the title is pretty unique. But there are a few other things which are also unique about this book. Uh, for one thing, it's a literary thriller. Normally, literary works are very character based and thrillers are very action based. So, this is a combination of the two. It's not your run of the mill thriller. The characters are very deeply thought about. Uh, when I was writing this book, I used to pace around the room to get into the mood. I would feel so much with the characters. I would sometimes break down. It's probably the most emotionally heart-wrenching book which I have written, and it's taken me a long time.
So, Rajesh, normally your pace of writing a book is quite fast. So, why did this book particularly take such a long time?
That's a good question, Ananya. And the reason is that when I wrote the book, uh, I first sent the manuscript to a British literary agent, a few of them, to see if there was any interest overseas because one of the characters is a British Indian billionaire, Lord Patel, whose son is kidnapped. And in fact, there was interest. There was a top literary agent who liked the book very much, the manuscript as it was. But in its first writing, it was written as a purely dramatic monologue. So the agent felt that it should be changed. He said that, can you just, because it becomes too intense, the reader needs to zone out. Can you just write it a little differently? So then I wrote a second version, which is the version before you, which combines the dramatic monologue with the conventional narration. So there are sections when the principal character is just talking, and then it switches to a regular narrative form. So it's a very unusual way of writing a novel, and he was very pleased with it. But then he wanted me to make a shift in the story uh, from a book which was focused on the justice system and a brother whose sister has been raped. He wanted to convert it into an incest book about incest. I couldn't do that to my characters. You know, when your character is authentic in a certain way. So he was a big agent. If I had listened to him, I could have distorted the story, given him the manuscript, and then probably it may have found a publisher. It might have got uh, good reviews, and it might have got much more attention at the time. But I think if you're a writer, you have to be honest to your craft. You should not be dishonest to the authenticity of your characters, to the trueness of what they represent. So I said, I'm sorry, but no thank you. So the book improved, but I lost a lot of time as a result. Eventually, then Juggernaut picked it up on their mobile app. They liked the book, and they published it on the mobile platform. Uh, but then I tried convincing them for some time that take it out in paperback as well. So I think they were not so keen. And then I found another publisher who was very interested. So I decided to change publishers for the print version. So now the book is out, and I'm very pleased. But yes, I am pretty fast in writing, but this one has taken me much longer than usual.
All right, Rajesh. So that's really good to know that you did not just change the story completely. So I want to know that how are people, receiving the book? What is the response from the readers?
Well, I think the response has been very encouraging. People have loved the cover and they have loved the title. I must say that the original cover, designed by Juggernaut, was a very bloody affair. This one is that was also very beautiful, a beautiful cover, but it was a very bloody affair. So when initially Juggernaut had posted it on some websites, YouTube and all, Facebook, their algorithm had come into play, and they thought, oh, this is a guide to kill billionaires, and it's also very bloody. So they were not willing to post it. But thankfully, this cover is not so bloody, and it will be able to dodge the YouTube algorithm when you post this um, on YouTube. But aside from the good reader response, there's another thing I'm very happy about, and that is that this is my first book where I have been requested by an agency that we would like to represent you for film rights because we think this would make an excellent film. I think also it'll make an excellent film. In fact, I have some characters in my mind about who could play. Uh, for example, there is an important character, Lord Patel, who is a British born billionaire. I think Anupam Kher would do very well in that. And then there is this middle aged lawyer. Amitabh is a bit old, but I think with some hairdo, and he does look very young, I think of Amitabh as doing justice to the narrator who is seeking revenge for the rape and suicide of his sister. So, what is special about this book is, that the facts are told to you almost at the outset. But then what happens after that, there's a lot of mystery. So, there are no spoilers when I'm telling you this. This is there evident right in the beginning. So, let's see how it goes further. As I mentioned, I put a lot of heart and soul into the writing of this book. It's very authentic portrayal of the court system, of the deceit, of the dishonesty, of the corruption, of all the uh, injustices that take place. It's a satire, but it's also, uh, I think, it deserves a wider platform, and hopefully it will get it. So thanks very much.
All right, Rajesh, that was really good to know. And just when you were telling me that which characters are going to be, perfect for the role, I also started thinking about it. And again, I'm really excited to see a movie version of it as well. So thank you, Rajesh, for being here with us and, telling us about this book. And I hope to see you soon.
Thanks, Ananya. It's very nice to be interviewed by somebody who is on the same wavelength because, unlike other interviewers, you are not only interested in books, but I know personally that you are very much interested in drama, in dramatic monologue, in cinema, and I hope we can interact uh, on something related to that also in the future. Thanks very much.